you've been following along, by now you know how to prepare your Insta360 X4 or X5 for underwater filming, from accessories to shooting settings. Today, we're going to unlock one of the most exciting features of these cameras, reframing your 360 footage. One of the biggest advantages of a 360 camera is that you capture everything around you at once. Instead of worrying about where to point your camera underwater, you can decide later exactly what the viewer sees. Both the X4 and X5 use dual fisheye lenses that record a wide field of view simultaneously, and the camera stitches it all into a seamless 360-degree video. At first, 360 footage can feel intimidating because you're faced with a full environment and might not immediately know where to focus attention. But Insta360 makes this intuitive and flexible whether you're on mobile, desktop, or using third-party plugins. It's important to know that Insta360 files are INSV, a proprietary format. You can't open these directly in standard video players. You need the Insta360 Studio app, mobile app, or supported plugins to view, reframe, and export them. There are three main ways to work with your footage. The first is the Insta360 Studio or the desktop app. This is free to download from the Insta360's website. With this, you can export at high resolution and bitrate for maximum quality. It also supports multiple codecs and it's best for precision editing and longer projects. It also allows you to reframe, but mostly done via manual keyframing or deep tracking. The plugins for third-party software. Official plugins are available for programs like Premiere Pro or Final Cut Pro. It is useful for multi-camera projects and it also supports manual keyframing, but it doesn't include all the mobile app features. The third is the Insta360 mobile app. This is free on iOS and Android. It offers multiple reframing strategies like the record, deep track, movements, multi-view, and manual keyframing. This also utilizes AI tools like auto reframe and flash cut, simply editing for social media. This is also great for quick edits and ready to share content on the go. Whether on desktop or mobile, the first step is to familiarize yourself with the interface. At the center, there's a preview panel where you can drag the screen or use a trackpad to adjust the viewpoint as the video plays. This helps you decide which parts of the clip to highlight and where to place the keyframes. Keyframing is the foundation of reframing. On mobile, tap the diamond icon with a plus sign to add a keyframe. Then, move to the view and add more keyframes to create smooth camera movements. On desktop, on the other hand, the timeline is optimized for keyframing. Scrub through, set keyframes, adjust framing, and the app creates smooth transitions between them. Deep track is another option. Select a subject and the app automatically tips it in frame. On mobile, there are additional options like record, movements, and multi-view to make your edits more dynamic. Let's now go to the reframing in the mobile app. First, you have to set the orientation. Before you start, set your output orientation. 16 by 9 for landscape, and this is ideal for YouTube. 9 by 16 for vertical videos, perfect for TikTok or Instagram Reels. You can go 1 by 1 or square, great for Instagram feed posts. You may also opt for 2.35 by 1, which is cinematic widescreen for a film-like look. Since your footage is 360, the quality stays consistent regardless of aspect ratio. Let's talk about the keyframing strategies step by step. First one is record. This lets you film within the 360 preview by moving your phone or swiping. The app records these movements as keyframes. Here's how you can do it. First, open the clip and then tap the reframe icon. Select record. Then, press play and move your phone or swipe to change the viewpoint. Next, stop and scrub the timeline to refine the transitions. Optionally, switch to manual mode to fine-tune the keyframes. For additional tips, keep movement smooth and deliberate. Record short segments about 6 to 15 seconds for cinematic results. Second is the deep track. This automatically follows a subject through the clip. Here's how to do it. First, tap tracking and then select the subject. Confirm and then the app places keyframe automatically. Lastly, preview and adjust manually if needed. For additional tips, pick visually distinct subjects. Use it for moving objects like divers or marine life and add manual keyframes for dramatic cutaways. The third one is the movements. This applies preset cinematic camera movements. Here's how to do it. First, tap movements, browse the presets and then preview each. Adjust duration and timeline placement. Next, apply multiple movements if needed. Here's more tips for it. Combine short movements about 2 to 6 seconds for dynamic edits. Then, layer it with deep track or manual keyframes for hybrid effects. Lastly, the multi-view. This shows multiple perspectives in a single frame. And here's how you can do it. First, select multi-view, then assign framing and projections for each panel. Then, adjust the timing, add captions or voiceovers, and then export. For additional tips, use for tutorials or reaction clips. Keep sub-view simple to avoid overwhelming viewers. Apart from these four, you may also opt for manual keyframing. This gives full control over camera orientation, zoom, and easing between points. And here's how you can do it. First, move the playhead and then adjust the framing. Tap the diamond icon to add a keyframe. Then, repeat throughout the clip. Preview them and adjust easing or intermediate keyframes as needed. And for additional tips, space keyframes thoughtfully, about 0.5 to 2 seconds for subtle moves and 2 to 6 seconds for major changes. Combine with deep tracks for precise adjustments. A practical workflow for reframing your 360 footage is to start with deep track to lock onto your subject, then refine any tricky movements using manual keyframing for precise control. Another effective approach is to use record to capture natural POV movements, and then layer movement templates on top to give your clips a polished, cinematic feel. For tutorial-style edits or projects that require multiple perspectives, combining multi-view with manual keyframing allows you to highlight different angles seamlessly. Finally, working with short clips, ideally 1 to 2 minutes, or breaking them into 10 to 30-second segments, makes the reframing, tracking, and editing process much more manageable, and it keeps your workflow smooth. To achieve smoother edits, it is important to preview your footage in real time so you can catch any abrupt transitions or unexpected jumps. Make a habit of saving drafts before exporting the final version. This gives you the flexibility to revisit and tweak your work. If any movement feels jumpy, take the time to adjust intermediate keyframes to create more fluid motion. When exporting, start at a lower quality to check pacing and motion. Then, render the final version in full resolution for the best results. Above all, practice and experiment with different strategies. Each clip and style may require a unique approach, and the more you explore, the more confident you'll become in finding your own editing style. The Insta360 mobile app offers a comprehensive suite of editing tools beyond reframing. You can add transitions, overlays, and effects to enhance your videos, as well as perform basic color corrections such as adjusting exposure, contrast, and saturation to make your underwater footage pop. The app also includes trimming and cutting tools for precise editing, a library of copyright-free music to accompany your clips, and AI Auto Edit, which instantly generates polished edits with music, transitions, and effects, making it easy to create ready-to-share content in just a few taps. Reframing is where 360 cameras truly shine. You don't have to worry about pointing the camera perfectly underwater. Instead, focus on capturing the moment, then decide later how to tell your story. With Insta360 Studio for high-quality experts, third-party plugins for professional workflows, and the Insta360 mobile app for quick, creative edits, the possibilities are endless. Mastering the reframing unlocks the full potential of your X4 or X5, ensuring that no amazing underwater moments goes to waste.